1 and the name of the chapter is Matter in Our Surroundings. So in the lecture number 2, what we discussed? We discussed about the different states of matter. And I told you that mainly there are 3 states of matter. Solid, another one is liquid, and the third one is gas. Okay. So we have covered this solid, characteristics of solid state, characteristics of liquid states in the previous one, in the previous lecture. So today what we are going to discuss? We are going to discuss about the properties of the particles that are present in which state of matter? In the gaseous state of matter. So just I am going to give you a quick revision of the lecture number 2. Solid. Are solids having definite volume? Yes. Liquid having definite volume? Yes. Shape. Solids, they are definite in shape or indefinite? They are definite in shape. And liquid, indefinite in shape. Because the liquid can occupy or can accommodate the shape of any vessel in which you are going to pour the liquid. For example, the liquid in the beaker it occupy the space of the beaker and attain the shape like that of a beaker. If I am going to pour this in such kind of a beaker, the shape is different, then the shape of the water is again going to change. Third one is compressibility. Are you able to compress the solid easily? No, that means compressibility very less. But in case of liquids, compressibility is there and even higher than that of solid. So in today's lecture we are going to discuss about the gaseous state of matter. So look in your surrounding. As you know, air is present. Okay, but can you see it? No, you can just feel it. Okay, so all the gases present in your surrounding or in the atmosphere can be felt by you, but they can't be seen by you. So firstly, about the volume. Gaseous doesn't have definite volume, doesn't have definite shape. Why I am saying this? That they are not definite in volume and not definite in shape. Because the gas, because for example, like in this, is this glass empty? Can you tell me, is this glass empty or this glass is filled with the gas inside it? Bacche, it is science. This glass seems to be empty, but there is an amount of gas that is present in the glass. Okay. So this air is in surrounding. Okay. But if I am going to push the invisible air inside the beaker. So now the gas is inside this beaker. So the volume of the gas that is present this time inside the beaker is in the surrounding previously. So the shape of the gas and the volume of the gas, this volume of the gas is going to be decreased. That means no definite volume. Like in your like at your homes, okay, the LPG cylinders which you are using for the cooking, okay, the amount of gas filled in that small cylinder is, how is it possible to compress the gas and fill it in a single cylinder? Just because of the compressibility factors. So the gases are compressible. Yes, they are highly compressible because you can easily compress the gas. And how you are going to compress the gas? How the gas is going to be filled inside that LPG cylinder at high pressure, and that means at high pressure. When you are going to apply a large amount of pressure on the gaseous particles, then what is going to happen? They are going to be compressed. So firstly, do they have definite volume? No. Do they have definite shape? No. Because if the shape of the gas is, because if you can't even see the molecules of the gases, how can you tell about the shape of a gas? Can you distinguish about the shape of O2 as well as CO2? But here O2 stands for oxygen and CO2 stands for carbon dioxide. So can you tell me the difference between the shape of oxygen gas and carbon dioxide gas? No, we can't tell because the shape of gas is not definite. It is indefinite. You can change the shape of gas as you can change the shape of liquid just by filling it in different containers having different shapes. Very good. So, about the volume, indefinite. About the shape, indefinite. Gases are compressible. Yes, they are highly compressible in nature. But now running towards the concept behind the three states of matter. If you will focus on the concept, it will be very easy to understand the interesting facts related to science. There is no need to cram anything in science. Each and everything is logical. Okay. So just what you have to do, you just have to focus on the concept. Now just come here. Okay. Let's see. On the concept, what is the concept behind this? I am going to make the diagram. Okay. Supposedly this is a container. In the solid, this is a solid matter having particles. Okay. Because what we have studied that each and every matter is composed of what? Particles. We have already studied this. This is the solid, liquid, gas. I drew the diagrams differently in all the three respective states. Why so? Concept here. Here I am going to discuss about why the solid is going to behave like a solid and why the liquid is going to behave like a liquid. What is the basic thing that make them distinguishable? Okay. The first, what you can see from the diagram, here the particles in the solid state, they are very compact. They are very compact and are closely packed. In the lecture number 2, we discussed about one thing, that is intermolecular space. What we discussed? Intermolecular space. This is a space between the two particles of a matter. Supposedly these two are the particles of the matter and the space between these two is known as what? Beta is known as intermolecular space. So the main basic concept is in solid, intermolecular space is very less. They are very closely compact with each other. But in liquid state, as you can see, these are very compact. But in liquid state, as compared to the solid one, the distance between the two particles is comparatively large. And in the gaseous state, the distance between the two particles of the gas is very large. That means solid, they are very compact with each other. But in liquid state, distance increase. But in gaseous state, the distance is very large. Okay. First thing is about intermolecular space. Second, attractive force between the two particles. The second thing is the attractive force. We have already discussed that these particles of matter, they attract each other. Okay. So, if they are closely packed with each other, like this, okay, the strength of this, when they are closely packed, the attractive force is very large. When I am going to increase the distance, the attractive force is going to be less, and when the distance is very large, there is nearly no attractive force or very less attractive force between the particles of gaseous molecules. So the attractive force in solid is very large. Or you can say that beta, if the distance between the intermolecular particles increased, then the attractive force between them is going to decrease. That means if intermolecular space increases, attractive force between the particles is going to be decreased. Third and the very basic thing is the kinetic energy of the particle. What is the kinetic energy? Okay, kinetic energy means the energy which I am using, okay, while walking. If I am stationary, that is not kinetic energy. But if I am moving, the energy which I am going to use for walking, for jogging and all the activities, then that energy is known as what? Kinetic energy. Similarly, you don't want to be stable, okay? Same as the particles. What they want? They just want to move just because of their energy. They just want to release the energy. What they want? They just want to release that energy. So in the solid state, the particles are very compact. You can imagine that it is very difficult for this particular molecules to move freely because it is very compact. Okay, and the kinetic energy, because of the compactness, it is not able to move. So the kinetic energy of the particle in the solid is very less. But in case of the liquid, as the distance increased, so they got some freedom. So now the particle can move. Okay. So here the kinetic energy in the liquid state as compared to that of the solid increased, and in the gaseous state they are feeling very less attractive force, so they can move very easily and they possess very high kinetic energy. This is the basic concept. By using these 3 points, you can answer a number of questions. Okay, question can be asked in various forms. Okay, but this basic concept remains the same. That's the beauty of science. You have to focus on what? On concept. Concepts are limited, but if you're going to cram the things, it's going to mug up in your mind, and ultimately you are going to attain non-knowledge of science. So that's why the main focus is in our lecture is on the concept building. So this is the concept. So we have discussed about the gaseous state of matter. So now what I am going to do, I am going to discuss with you the textual question, okay, which are there in your book. So firstly, lots of students have queries that which book we are going to follow. So this is the book, the NCERT science book of class 9. This book we are going to follow. Okay. So in the first very chapter on the page number 3, there are some questions. Okay. And now in the very lecture we are going to discuss these textual questions. So first question is, which of the following is a metal? What you have to identify? Which of the following is a metal? The first one is chair, air. I am just giving you an idea how to answer the question, but it's up to you that how you are going to write the questions. Okay, I am going to discuss with you. I am not going to feed you, okay, with the spoon. I am just going to give you the discussion, and you have to use your mind that how you are going to answer. So the first is, in the first question is chair, air, love. The basic characteristic of matter is it occupies some space and has mass. Chair is having a mass, so on the basis of mass and space, we can distinguish which belongs to the matter and which is not a matter. So the first one is chair. Chair is having mass. Yes. Chair occupies some space. Yes, it occupies. Air. Air is having a mass. It occupies space. Yes. Love. Or you can say that hate, jealousy and all that stuff. They are having any mass? No. Are they going to occupy any space in the physical world? No. So that means they are just mere feelings. They are not matter. Okay? Getting my point? So the main basic concept is on the basis of mass and on the basis of the space occupied by that substance, you can classify that this thing belongs to matter or not. This is the very first question. The second one is, give reason for the following observation. Listen to me very carefully. The smell of hot sizzling food reaches you several meters away, but this is not going to happen in the case of cold food. That means we are having two things, hot food versus cold food. Okay? So now here, the smell of the can be felt from a very far away distance, from a very long distance, but it is not in the case of cold food. Go to the basic concept. We discussed about the kinetic energy. We discussed about the temperature. If the temperature is increases, kinetic energy is going to increase, and kinetic energy, that means in hot food, temperature in hot food is greater than the temperature in cold food. So here the temperature in cold food is less. If the temperature is greater, then the kinetic energy of the particles of food is high and they start moving rapidly with a very high speed and cover a large distance. But in case of cold food, as the temperature is less, so the kinetic energy is less and they are not going to cover the long distance. So the answer is, just because of the high temperature in the hot food, the kinetic energy of the particle is very high. They try to rush, and just because of very higher kinetic energy, they travel a larger distance as compared to the particles of cold food. Third question is, a diver is able to cut the water in a swimming pool. That means while swimming, but the diver is going to do, it's going to cut the water surface. But in case of solid, it is not easy. So the question number 5. So the answer should be based upon the intermolecular distance. That's the thing that you have to do it. Okay. Now, just by reading the question, you come to know. If I am going to discuss about the solid and this is the water, so the intermolecular distance is high. In case of water, the diver can easily cut the molecule just because of the intermolecular distance. And intermolecular distance in case of liquid is higher than that of the solid. So the diver can easily cut the molecule, cut the space between the two molecules. Okay, but in the case of solid, it can't be done. What are the characteristics? The fourth question is, what are the characteristics of the metal? Already discussed in the very first lecture of the chapter, where we discussed, firstly, the metal is made up of particles. The size of particle is very small. There is a force of attraction present between the particles, and the particles are constantly in motion, and there is an intermolecular space present between the particles of any metal, you can say. So these are the textual questions we discussed on the page number 3. Now the next textual question is on the page number 6. They are 4 in numbers. Okay. So I am just going to give you a very brief idea about these questions, but you have to do it yourself. So first question is, the mass per unit volume is known as what? The density. Arrange the following in the increasing order of density. So the main thing where you are going to be confused is between the smoke coming out from the chimney and the air. So here are the things. So the smoke from exhaust, you can say smoke from exhaust, then air, then cotton. Further you can arrange by yourself. The main thing is in between these two, and cotton and water, where you get confused. So I am going to clear your doubt here. Smoke from the exhaust. A very minute thing is exhaust. That means here temperature is high. If the temperature is high, that means hot gases are going to come, and we have already discussed, and I think you will be able to deal with this concept that hot gases are lighter as compared to the cold gases. So hot gases are lighter than the cold gases. Okay, so if they are lighter, then the density of this exhaust is less as compared to that of air, because in air cold airs are also present. Similarly, here cotton and water. I have already done an activity that is cotton, or I did that activity by using the sponge. Similarly, in cotton, there are pores, and in those pores, on those pores, the air particles get trapped, and that makes the cotton light. So cotton is lighter than that of the water, so that's why the density of cotton is less as compared to that of the water. Rest of the thing is very simple, okay, so you can arrange it by yourself. The next is tabulate the difference in the characteristics of the states of matter. I have already discussed these. Based on the rigidity, based on the compressibility, based on the volume, based on the shape. Okay. The second question, the second part of the second question, that is the B. Comment upon the following. Rigidity. Solids are very rigid. In case of liquid, less rigidity, and gases, least rigidity. Compressibility, you can do. Fluidity, that means the tendency to flow. Solid, fluidity is very less, but in case of liquid can flow easily, and gases, they can flow very easily. Then the shape, already discussed. Kinetic energy, already discussed, and the density. The new term here is the density. So the density is mass per unit volume. Okay, this is the density. Solids are more denser than liquid, than gas. Okay, this is about the density, because in solid the molecules are very compact and they are very closely packed. So the third question is, a gas fills completely the vessel in which it is kept. That means if I am going to take a certain amount of gas and I am going to fill it in a cylinder, okay, and further in a very smaller size of cylinder, that means the gas can occupy the very space that is available to him, or that is available to it, sorry. So what does it mean? That means the particle gap is very large. In the gaseous molecule, the intermolecular distance between the two molecules is very large. If I am going to compress the gas particles, that means what I am doing? I am just reducing the intermolecular distance. That's why a very large volume of gas can be compressed and filled into the cylinder of very small volume. Okay. Now the next is gas exerts pressure. So gaseous particles, what we discussed, the distance is very large, the attractive force is very less. But what about the kinetic? So the very fourth question is, liquid generally have lower density as compared to that of solid. Density is what? Mass or unit volume. So in general cases, the density of solid is greater than that of what? Liquid. So when I am going to put some solid in the liquid, it's going to sink. Okay, because of its high density. जो चीज भारी है वो चीज डूब जाता है. And but there is an interesting thing you can do at your homes. Try to put ice in water. And what you will observe? What you are going to observe is, according to this concept, it is a solid and it is a liquid. So, according to the concept, the density of solid is greater than liquid. So, ice should sink in the water. But this is not going to happen. That is science. Why? What you are going to observe by this activity, that ice floats on the surface of water. Ice is going to float on the surface of water. That means, according to this rule, that means the density of ice is less than that of density of water. But this is in contradiction with the first one. Here comes the concept. If you know the concept, nothing will going to confuse you. Here, when from water, we are going to convert the water into the ice. What is going to happen? The particles are going to expand just because of the cage-like structure of ice. That means ice is a solid. So its particles should be very compact with each other. But this is not the case. When the ice molecule form, it's going to form in a case-like structure. So there is an empty space present between the molecules, and just because of this space, the volume occupied by the ice is high. And if in mass, if denominator increases, then the overall section, that is density, is going to decrease. Okay, that means when water freezes, the particles of water is going to arrange themselves in cage-like structure. So there is a hollow space between the particles, and just because of the hollow space, they are going to occupy a large volume. And if the volume increase, denominator part increase, then the overall friction, that is density, is going to decrease. That means what we can conclude, the density of ice is less as compared to that of the water. So that's why ice floats on the surface of water. So this is your today's lecture, the lecture number 3. In this lecture, what we discussed about the gaseous state, and we discussed some of your textbook questions on the page number 3 and the page number 6 of your science NCERT book. Okay, bache? So hope you all are fine and good, and keep enjoying, keep studying, stay at your homes and be safe. Thank you.